Hello, since some members of Marketfyre are just getting their feet wet as far as marketing on the internet, and other people that see this may not have been engaged in reading about internet marketing yet, I'd like to cover a few basic terms. I picked a nice round number, like 14 terms I'm going to go through here in 5 or 10 minutes. And these are terms that you're going to see when you start reading about search engine marketing and marketing on the internet. A lot of them are things that are familiar to you already. You just might not be familiar with the terms. And that's exactly the case of this first one, SERP. You may not have heard of what a SERP is. Now, I apologize for my simplicity here. I'm just having a OneNote notebook open. There aren't a lot of graphics, but I did get you one graphic here. There. That's not a SERP. That's a serpent. You know, a serpent, obviously. That one looks a little bit scarier than this one. This one looks a little bit more fun. But no, that's not what a SERP is. SERP stands for Search Engine Results Page. So while you may know exactly what this is, when you see it, you type something in your into Google like this, and you see, okay, this is what comes up. Well, this is a SERP. This is the first SERP, which is the first search engine results page. And of course, you can see that there are multiple, and it doesn't even tell you exactly how many SERPs there are here. But more than 10, obviously, and probably more along the line of a million or a couple 100,000. But this is a search engine's results page. The same thing you see all the time. You just might not have heard it called SERP before, but that's what it is. And so when you're reading and somebody says, oh, and I got 23,000 SERPs and we're on the fourth one, that's what they're talking about. SEO, you may or may not have heard of it. It just stands for search engine optimization. Of course, you're not actually optimizing the search engine. You're optimizing your site so it appears in the search engine on the first or second SERP, hopefully. Most people are shooting for the top. Search engine optimization means that you're adjusting your content, maybe some of your tags, your alt tags especially. We'll talk about meta tags and how useless they are anymore. But you're adjusting things so that you appear in your relevant results. If you have a business that sells flowers, maybe you want, when somebody searches for flowers in the town that you're living in, you would like that to surface highly, obviously. So if somebody's looking for flowers, they'll find you. So that's just when you see SEO, and you'll see it a lot. I know in Marketfyre we'll be talking about it a lot. It just means search engine optimization. Organic results. Again, something that you've probably seen and known many times, just might not have realized that it had a term. When you have ads related to marketing, then those are sponsored ads. Anything that comes up on its own that is, well, I guess this is already localized, because you wouldn't think that some things would come up as high as they are. But yeah, any of these natural results that come up that aren't ads or aren't sponsored are called organic results. So when you do SEO, you're shooting for the top of the organic results. It just means not sponsored. Obviously, these over on the side here, on the right side, are sponsored ads. Those are not organic results. The results are the ones that come up naturally. Okay, what else do we have here? Meta tags, I mentioned them briefly earlier. Kind of useless nowadays. This is what meta tags looked like. Meta means information about. And this is what some of the code would look like on a lot of sites near the top of the page. And it would set things like what kind of content, who's the author, and it got down, and the important thing years ago was down here where it had keywords. This is just some example text I grabbed. It says meta name, keywords, and the content. and it would have the keywords of what this content was supposedly about. Well, in the past, this was largely abused by webmasters and people that promoting their sites, because their keywords would not be relevant to the content that was inside the site. So Google has even come out and said, we don't use meta tags anymore to index sites. So if somebody tells you how important it is to adjust your meta tags, it really isn't. And I have sites that spider well into search engines without meta tags that will prove that. But yeah, that's a legacy information. That's from some years ago. Somebody that's older that used an SEO may still suggest that if they're not keeping up on their reading, but really meta tags are essentially useless anymore. But that's what it was, and it's something that you could adjust using an FTP, FTP something up to your site with Dreamweaver, or if you do use a text editor like Notepad++, you would just edit the text of your site and upload it with something like FileZilla, FTP transfer, and then it would be up on your site, but it's useless work now because it doesn't make any difference. So you can almost essentially forget about meta tags. The next term is algorithm. Algorithm it's basically the equations and computer programming that determines how well things rank in the search engines. The one that's always talked about is the Google algorithm. And what it means is, what is Google using to analyze who goes where? It's got something to do with keyword density. It's got something to do with backlinks, which is something I put on this list, backlinks. And it just means the sites that are linking back to your website. And if those sites have a lot of traffic and they're very relevant to the same content that you have, then you're going to get a higher link weight from that, which means it's evaluated as a more important link. So if there's a site that specializes on search engine optimization, and you have a website on marketing that includes search engine optimization, and they're very popular and they have a lot of traffic, the weight of that link is more important. And what happens then is that increases you and your search results. Now, if you have links from a lot of places that are relevant and have a good link weight, then that brings you up even more. And that's how some of the big sites get up so high in search engine rankings. There's a lot of people link to the resources. A lot of people share those links on other websites. So that's what the algorithm is. Sometimes you'll hear about the Penguin updates. That's an update to the Google algorithm. The Penguin update isn't one update. It was really a series of different updates, of small updates, and it changes the ways that things are ranked. So when you hear about an algorithm, that's what it's talking about. Usually it's talking about Google changing something that's going to change how people are ranked in the SERPs. And it's very important. Some people live for understanding this and how it's going to affect different things. The next term I put on here was affiliate marketing, something you may be familiar with. I grabbed a little definition here. It's marketing or advertising products or services that you don't own in exchange for a commission on confirmed sales or leads. You see it all the time. If somebody has a website and off to the side you see a book advertised from Amazon.com. If you click through there and buy that book, then that site is going to get a kickback, and that's called an affiliate marketing program, and it's very common. I'm sure you've seen it all over. Very common for web hosting, very common for domains, for books, sometimes for clothes. All it means is they don't own that product, but if you click through and buy something, then they get a small revenue from that. And that's affiliate marketing programs are very common. Big part of internet marketing. The next thing is AdWords. AdWords is one of the major things that we're going to be looking at in Marketfyre here in the next couple weeks. AdWords is the opposite of organic results. AdWords is what you see over here to the right. marketing degrees, grow your business online, internet brand marketing. What happened is I typed a term into the search engine, and all these people bid on that term, and they say, we'll pay so many cents for each click-through. And so Google ranks them on the side here. And this is the campaign they're using is called the Google AdWords campaign. It's just a little bit more difficult than setting up an email address, not that hard to get started. I always compare it to the game of Othello. If you've ever seen it with the white pieces and the black pieces, and I used to have a slogan, it takes a minute to learn and a lifetime to master. And that's kind of what I think of as far as Google AdWords. Takes a little bit, not much to get started, but if you want to get the right terms and the right bidding strategy, it takes a little bit to maintain. But Google AdWords campaigns is what put all these sponsored results. And Bing and Yahoo also have their own programs. It's not called Google AdWords. That's Google's terminology. And since Google has most of the market share, that's one that we're talking about now. So that's what Google AdWords are. I must have skipped. Oh, well, there we are, Google AdWords. Search engine marketing is basically what we've just been looking at as far as that's getting your higher organic results, and that's your AdWords. Any marketing that happens in the search engine is called search engine marketing, and that's what SEM is. AdSense is Google's advertising network for display ads on different sites. And what it is a webmaster or somebody that has a site gets a piece of code, and once that code is inserted there, Google will go ahead and insert what ads it wants to put there. It spiders the content of the website and sees what's relevant to what they're talking about. If they're talking about fashion and a lot of different things about clothes, then Google's going to say, oh, this is all about clothes. We index that. So there's a higher likelihood they're going to buy a clothing item. So in this block that the webmaster has given me, I'm going to advertise, put a display ad for some type of clothing. And that's called the AdSense network. Actually, when you go into Google AdWords and create an account, they'll ask you, do you just want to market in the search engine, or do you also want to be in the display network? And that display network is what links to AdSense. AdSense is really more the term that that people with websites putting advertising on their site are going to be familiar with, because they're getting the AdSense code and inserting it into a block of their site. So that's AdSense. Alt text is when you hover over something on a website and a little piece of text comes up. That's from the alt tag. Contrary to meta tags, actually alt tags carry some weight, because Google assumes that whatever that picture is, or whatever that link is, or whatever it is somehow related to that. So it actually makes sense to keep your alt text accurate. Web analytics or Google Analytics analytics just means analyzing, obviously. Usually you're analyzing web traffic, you're analyzing where did they come from, you're analyzing how many links are coming back to our site. With the Google Analytics program, Google provides you with this tool, and you can just put some code into the top of your site, which I know some people, whenever I say code, they're like, ooh, but technically if you're using something like WordPress or another content management system, it's really not as hard as you think. It's just you can pull up a page, it'll show you basically where to insert it, and you can go into WordPress, into your dashboard, go into the editor, and it'll say, you can see your site page, and it's really just as easy as copying and pasting. You're not really coding anything yourself, you're not writing anything, you're copying a block of text. It's different than this, but it could be this, and you just copy it and paste it into the site. Once you do that, you can use their tool to look in and see a lot of these analytics, what's your traffic, what are people coming from,